Hi there, Dave Cook from VG247 here. I'm playing some Dark Souls 2. Now, just off the bat, I need to point out I'm gonna cover quite a lot of things in this little video, so I'll be as quick as I can. So this area is a place called the Lost Bastille, and you probably noticed already there's not a lot of enemies around. That's because in Dark Souls 2 you can make enemies extinct. Now, I've sort of counted this at bonfires, I've sort of spammed enemies over and over, and I think once you kill them 10 times, they never come back, and that means ever, as far as I'm aware. And I'm about 18 hours into this game now, at the time of this recording. So I think what they've done is basically that's to stop you from, grinding the same bonfire over and over. Kind of like the Dark Root Garden in the first Dark Souls. That I think they wanted you to stop doing that. So anyway, this area is called the Lost Bastille, and I'm just trying to basically kill the 5th boss in the game now, and I haven't actually tackled him yet. So I don't know, this may be pretty foolish, but I'm going to actually try and fight it for the first time ever in this video, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I mean, everything at the core of Dark Souls 2 handles exactly the same as the first game, but that's that's definitely not to its detriment. It's, if they changed too much about this game, it would not be a Dark Souls game, so that makes perfect sense. A little tip, run through that corridor, guy kills himself every time. It's great. So the bonfires are back, but you no longer level up at the bonfires. They're basically used for fast travel now, and that's unlocked right from the start. Unlike for the first game where you had to get the Lord Vessel first. You can see there's quite a lot of the map uncovered already. There's a maximum of 5 bonfires per area, so I've unlocked quite a lot of the game so far. You can also raise bonfire intensity. I guess that's kind of like kindling in the first game, but you burn things like this. I haven't been able to do it yet. I don't know how to raise the intensity of the bonfire, or what it does actually. You might notice I've got 5 Estus flasks, and you might think kindling is kind of the same. It isn't. And I'll just show you here actually. I'm going to turn human again. You can do this anywhere. You don't have to be at a bonfire. You just use a human effigy to do it. So as I was saying, you don't level up at bonfires. You have to go back to the main town called Majula, and there's a maiden there who will, you give her your souls and you level up. It's a lot like Demon Souls actually. There was a maiden in that game that helped you level up. You can't kindle the bonfires, like I say. Estus flasks are basically, you get more of them by finding shards, like flask shards out in the world. You give them to the maiden in Majula and she'll make you a new Estus flask. And basically Estus flasks don't fill your entire health bar up. That sounds really sadistic, and it is. The way that you level up the strength of your flask is I believe it's called Dragon Bone Powder. If you burn that in a bonfire, it basically increases the amount of HP that your flasks regenerate. So that's one way to do it. So yeah, I mean, combat is the same. Lock on with the right stick and all that sort of stuff. It's exactly the same. You got to be pretty careful. There's a lot of hidden areas around this area. Hidden enemies around this area. These guys are pretty tough. They may look like little grunts. I'll show you this really strange little door with nothing in it. Just really odd. The enemies are quite deceptive because these guys look like your average sort of mindless grunts, but they do this weird leap attack that blows up the ground around you. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but like that. And you may notice my stamina going up really quick. I have a ring equipped that basically makes it recharge faster. And interesting, you can actually equip 2 rings per hand now, so that's a total of 4. So you can actually buff up pretty well. Again, that doesn't make the game any easier because the game itself is harder. You may notice I've got a full vitality bar there, the red one. But if you die in this game, you lose some of your max health. And that you can basically lose as much as half of your total health. So you can actually be capped by 50% if you keep on dying. And that really comes into play later, especially once the enemies get a bit harder. I'm getting completely swarmed here. Poise is really important as well. And you may remember Poise was your sort of anti-stagger stat, and it was kind of linked to your armor. So basically, in Dark Souls 2, your Poise is determined by your overall Poise stat, which is like all your armor linked together, and you actually have an adaptability stat that you can level up in Majula. And that also determines like how good you are at taking heavy blows, how likely you are to be staggered, and your stamina. Like there's loads of enemies in this game that do multiple hits in rapid succession. So your stamina bar is really important in this game. You got to really be good with blocking, try and dodge. It's tough. It's not easy. So this is the next area I'm trying to finish. It's called Sinner's Rise, and it's kind of linked to the Bastille. So it's basically this big sewer network underground. There's a big temple there, and I haven't gone in it yet because there's a boss there, and I haven't fought it. You may notice that bonfire, that little bonfire thing in the background, that pedestal I just walked past. That's so basically in Majula there's one of these pedestals that has a flame in it, and you find torches throughout the world, that you can light. You can light them at bonfires, and you can light them at these little pedestals. But the idea is that you're supposed to light the torch, the first pedestal in Majula, then take that flame with you throughout the whole game. So you'll find little pedestals that haven't been lit, and you just light them on your way, so you're never too far from fire. Because there's a bit of again, it's another layer of difficulty to this game. There's some bits that are completely pitch black, so like you need light to get through them, or you're going to die, obviously. So yeah, you kind of have to figure out, how do I get the flame from this first pedestal all the way throughout the world. And once you unequip the torch, it goes out, so you have to be very careful if there's enemies around. You can't defend yourself, basically. And interestingly enough, there's a bit, I'll show you in a minute, just a little emoticon here. I love this. There we go. Anyway, so I noticed as well, you notice the little sign here. I'm actually playing offline because I'm playing a beta version, a debug version, and the console doesn't go online. So that guy I just summoned, now interestingly enough, you'll find, just like in the other games, you'll find yourself invaded by AI enemies. They come into the world as kind of red phantoms. I actually beat this guy in a belfry quite a while ago. And I didn't know what, you get a lot of souls for killing a phantom, but I didn't know what else happened. So for every phantom you killed, one of these symbols shows up in the world, so you can actually summon them and they'll help you fight. I haven't actually tested the online yet because I was just trying to finish the story. I'm doing a series of journals on this site, for the whole playthrough, which is crazy, I know, but so I'm focusing on this just now. I'll do another article on the net code once I get a chance to play it. So you can see this guy's sapping through my stamina. I'm really thankful for that recharge ring. It's really helpful. When you got a buddy with you like this guy, it's not so bad. This bit here though, you walk really slowly, and on land these guys are slow. In the water they're really fast. That's the trick. You got to be careful there. And I found that by raising that lift, those big brutes will step over the hole it leaves behind, and they'll trip themselves up, and you can kill them easily. But a few times I tried that and fell down the hole and died, so it's just not worth it. Anyway, I need to take my time here, so apologies. This is going to be a bit slow because, these guys are tough. So, yeah, what else? So you'll notice I've got Soul Arrow, equipped to my magic slot. I can't use that yet, and that's really annoying, because Soul Arrow, it was kind of one of those starter spells. It was like your first spell for a lot of people, but I can't use it because my attunement is only 1, which is fine. I can equip it, but my intelligence is way too low, and I can't use the first staff that you find in the game, the wand. And the reason I think for that is because I'm a knight class, which is primarily two-handed swords, melee. The usual thing. Kind of a good all-rounder for melee combat. So I think what they've done is they've tried to better define the classes. So there's no point in going a knight who's good at melee if you can very quickly become a mage as well, if you see what I mean. That kind of defeats the purpose of having defined classes. So it takes a lot longer to actually level up to be able to use the magic, and that's fine. I'll prefer melee, but there's times so far that I really needed the soul arrow. I wish I had it. But if you don't have that, you can use crossbows and bows and arrows. It's all the same as before, really, except you can actually have 2 arrow types equipped to one ranged weapon at a time. You can flick between them. So say you've got elemental, you've got fire arrows, and you've got standard ones. You can switch between them without having to go back into the menu, which is kind of cool. What else? So yeah, the world itself is really bleak. Again, it's really dark, and the whole idea, the world of Drang Lake, it's where cursed people go to basically, I guess they look for the cure. Again, the story's really ambiguous, so I'm not quite sure exactly what's going on yet, but that's why you're here. The opening cinematic is great. I wouldn't spoil it for yourself. Don't try and find it on YouTube. Just wait till you get the game and experience it firsthand, because it's really cool. Like the way you get to Drangleic is really awesome. So I'm just going to show you here. I managed to bring a torch all the way here by lighting pedestals along the way, and I lit these things. They're covered in oil. I'm not sure what they do, but I guess I'll find out in a second, because I've never fought this boss before. So excuse me if I go a bit quiet, but you know, here we go. All right, I'm just gonna go for it. Could be anyone. Better not be Ornstein and Fatty. Again, I had enough trouble with those guys the first time. All right, here we go. Okay, cutscene. Yeah, it always looks like the screen's on fire or covered in blood whenever there's a boss cutscene. It's really strange. That's unpleasant. But then again, when is anything in Dark Souls pleasant? I mean, right from the start, my knight class didn't have a shield, and you know, the very first area you get attacked by a big swarm of like giant mole, rat, Therlin, or whatever they were. So I punched them to death, but barely. Alright, okay, so my guy's still with me, that's good. He doesn't seem to be doing it. Oh, there he is, okay. The Lost Sinner. Interesting. Wow, Jesus. I didn't realise my crossbow would take off so much stamina. I've never actually used the crossbow yet. I actually just bought it the last time I played it. Alright, okay. Keep my distance. I feel like I'm kind of cheating here a little bit, like having this guy with me, but he's about to die, so I guess it's not so bad. Oh my god. I have a real problem with them. It seems to take longer to actually use your flask. I always get hit, like, there we go, see? He's not so bad though, actually. He's not taking too much stamina off per hit. I'm just being really careless. Plus I don't want this video to overrun, so if I die it's probably going to be a good finishing point. Alright. Yeah, the thing is, I've leveled up that shield so much, and my armor's like plus like 5 pretty much. I've used the blacksmith a lot, so my poise is pretty good at the moment. Okay. Oh, that's sneaky as hell, right, you asshole. Right, come on. No. Top up my health here. Ah, see, alright, okay, I knew it was going to happen. Anyway, that's probably a good place to end it, so thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.